We're going to cover the One Bad Day series.
Okay.
We'll start off with the most common or the most famous.
The Killing Joke?
Yes. Yes, we're going to be talking about the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke.
So, the Killing Joke was...
Turns out to be the actual canonical story of Joker, apparently now.
Yeah, at this point. But when it was written, it was not written to be that. It was released, though, in 1988.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that old.
Yeah, it's...
Holy fucking shit.
Yeah, that was the cover date. It was 1988.
Damn.
A lot older than what you would think.
Wait, I thought about the late 90s.
No.
Man, that's like old lore then.
Yeah. That's why it was a weird thing for them to make that canon, of all things.
Right.
Yeah, it was first published in 1988.
I mean, they should have done more like lore story of Joker. Like, is this his origin? They only did the one, so they must have known it would be canon eventually.
Yeah.
But they didn't never do another one.
No. And it has been continuously put in print, too. So,
yeah.
Since then. Like where they keep doing like reissues of like the graphic novels and stuff.
That makes sense why when I saw mine, it was like 2008 or something.
Yeah.
Or 2001.
Since they're reprinting it.
Right. I guess I didn't read the original. Copyright was 1988.
For being a dark story, it's really old. You expect that kind of stuff to happen.
Well,
like
for
in the
it being
90s.
So it feels like it's just like a key component of the lore.
Yeah.
And for it to be from so long ago, that their lore was already set from that far back, it's like, damn. So that lore was built even back then.
Yeah.
Like that, I thought that lore was like later, like slowly they built into like the fact that Joker was the way he is, and Batman would never kill him because it's like that one thing he can't do, and then Joker was like just like that level of like insanity that he could never predict.
Yeah,
I thought that lore was built late, like after the 90s.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
You would think it would be
88.
Yeah. So basically, like I said, it's part of the One Bad Day series. Starting off with this as being like the title of the One Bad Day without actually being associated with the other One Bad Days.
It also makes me wonder when they started the Joker Batman lore stuff.
Even older.
Like how the psychological like components.
Even earlier than that.
That's wild.
Yeah. Like during the Silver Age of comics.
Kind of want to read his old series, see how the Joker was like back then.
Yeah. Pretty similar. So I think from the early 80s ish is whenever he started acting exactly the way he does now. But technically before it became canon, I guess, with this being the actual like Joker origin story, it was part of an elseworld. Like it wasn't an actual like not actually taking place within the main continuity of DC. But since they've had so many retcons and so many other issues, apparently now it's canon. So basically the plot of it, okay? It revolves around a largely psychological battle between Batman and his longtime foe, the Joker, who has escaped Arkham Asylum. Batman paid a visit to Arkham Asylum and specifically to the Joker's cell. He then tells the Clown Prince of Crime that he's been thinking of their battles, more specifically, how they're most likely going to end. One of them is most likely going to kill the other. Whether it is the Joker...
like, it ain't gonna be me, bitch, and started swinging off. That would be fucking hilarious. You just had an epiphany one day, like, one of us is gonna kill each other, and it's not gonna be me.
It ain't gonna be me, bitch.
Fucking pulls out a fucking switchblade and starts fucking stabbing him.
Whether it be the Joker killing Batman or Batman killing the Joker, the most likely it may happen either sooner or later, and wonders if Joker himself is aware of that because he's just talking to him basically in his cell. However, he then realizes the man in the cell is not actually the Joker due to his chalk skin smearing off whenever he tries to grab him, and demands to know where he actually is. So Jokers are not even listening to this shit. Your Batman's
has a fucking huge fucking epiphany and dialogue with him, and he's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
And now this guy's like, "Who the fuck are you?"
A tear runs down the guy, like, "That's so touching, Batman." It's like, "Who the fuck?" He beats the hell out of him.
The Joker intends to drive Gotham City Police Commissioner James Gordon insane to prove that the most upstanding citizen is capable of going mad after having one bad day.
The famous. Yeah, there's the monologue or the title. The titles are the splash title.
Exactly.
One bad day.
And that's why this is the first of the One Bad Day series, even though they have nothing to do with each other.
It's a good writer idea too. Whoever came up with that.
Yeah.
To pull that out from the not say like the Killing Joke continuation or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he looked at One Bad Day, like one bad day, and it probably rattled in his brain for weeks. Bad day, one bad day.
It's like, what if we did that for all of them?
What if they all had one bad day?
Yeah.
And then he's buzzing to Dan Diddle's office. Dan Diddle trying to take a shit in the bathroom. What the fuck? I'm taking a shit. One bad day.
So, as part of his plan, the Joker managed to scam the owner of a rundown amusement park into giving him control, also poisoning him in the process while shaking hands on the deal, revealing that the park was actually Joker's since an hour beforehand, thanks to his minions forcing his business partner to grant Joker ownership. So
why would he need ownership? Just fucking take it.
But he got granted ownership.
Like, why the fuck did he need to go through the whole process? Like, all right, where do I sign? He just needed to take over the park, with his goons, and then they could have just used. So he needed like legal ownership of the business first.
Right.
He's like, now look at the tax on this motherfucker. God damn.
We need to get an investment from Bruce.
They call me crazy.
So along the way, the Joker has flashbacks to his earlier life, gradually explaining his possible origin at the time. Now being...
I would have believed it more if he'd kept coming up with different fucking stories and inconsistencies throughout the whole miniseries.
Yeah.
So you go back like, what the fuck is he talking about now? What the fuck? His wife is Asian? She was white earlier. What the hell is he talking about?
Like where he's just literally insane.
Yeah, like there's a fucking lunatic.
So the man who will become the Joker is an unnamed engineer who quit his job at a chemical company to become a stand-up comedian, only to fail miserably.
I imagine him on stage just getting fucking trolled. You fucking suck. You should fall in a vat of acid. He's like, I will.
Oh, don't tempt me.
I'll do it.
Desperate to support his pregnant wife, Jeannie, he agrees to guide two criminals into the plan for robbery. During the planning, the police inform him that his wife has died in a household accident involving an electric baby bottle heater.
Yeesh.
Grief-stricken, the engineer tries to withdraw from the plan, but the criminals strong-arm him into keeping his commitment to them. At the plant, the criminals make him don a special mask to become the infamous Red Hood.
Oh, Red Hood. So it begins.
Unknown to the engineer, the disguise is simply the criminal's scheme to implicate any accomplice as the mastermind to divert attention.
Imagine if they had to do that. They had to canonize that story just because of Jason Todd. Took the mantle of Red Hood because of Joker's original Red Hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it all went full circle. Like, imagine if that's the only reason they canonized that story.
Could be
because they had to make it legitimize why Jason Todd took the Red Hood moniker.
Yeah,
that would be fucking insane.
But I could see them doing something like that. Because it wouldn't be surprising.
He only took it because it was Joker's original, and he wanted to get back at Joker.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? I'll take your identity, basically.
And now I'm the Red Hood.
And going around killing everybody.
So Dan Diddle's just pacing in his office. So now we got to canonize this story. How do we do it? And he turns around. That's it. 3 Jokers. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
It's like, good God. And isn't there still
I'm a goddamn genius. He jumps through the window.
And isn't there an original one out of all of them?
The original one was one of the 3. It's the one from The Killing Joke.
Yeah.
He's the very and it turns out his wife is still alive. And Batman always knew his secret identity, or he knew Joker's actual origins.
Yeah.
But he never cared or told anybody.
Because it didn't matter at that point.
Yeah, like no one gave a shit. Joker's insane no matter what. And I kind of want to know what happened to Joker ever finds his wife again and his kid, because his kid's grown up.
Yeah.
And it's like a little, it wasn't a teenager, but it was like he was killed away, but he was like a child.
Yeah.
So it must have not happened that long ago.
Huh.
Like it's only been a couple years.
It's weird how timelines work. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like 35 years old now. He beat his ass when he was 15. So how the hell did that kid grow up? Wait a minute, man. Hold on.
Like none of it adds up.
Unless I'm wrong and it was like an older, maybe it's a young girl and her mom. I could be wrong. I remember seeing the ending panel. I remember how old they were, the little girl was, or whatever the kid was.
Yeah.
It could be a teenager or a young adult, if I remember incorrectly. But Batman like goes up to fucking Nome, Alaska or some shit like there. They already fucking through like a fucking pervert through a fucking binocular. There they are. Like I don't know how he actually watched him, but I imagine he watched him through a binoculars. I see you motherfuckers. You're the reason he went insane.
You bitch. So once inside, they almost immediately blunder into security personnel.
Nice.
And a violent shootout and a chase ensues. The criminals are gunned down, and the engineer finds himself confronted by Batman, who is investigating the disturbance. Panicked, the engineer deliberately jumps into the chemical waste catch basin, their vat, to escape Batman, and is swept away through a pipe leading to the outside.
You'll never catch me in here. He's like, bitch, of course not. I'm not jumping in that bitch.
It's like, nobody's that fucking crazy. He was crazy before he jumped. Once outside, he discovers to his horror that the chemicals have permanently bleached his skin chalk white, stained his lips ruby red, and dyed his hair bright green.
Give this dick the same color, though. His dick's still fucking white. Or like original, like a dark tan.
It's like, what the fuck is that?
Be like the whitest man, right?
Yeah.
It'd be like a black dick. Like, why is your dick darker than the rest of your skin? So, I don't know, bro. But that's one of those iconic scenes where like he's grabbing his face.
Yeah.
And he's laughing. I remember that.
Yeah. This turn of events, compounding the man's misfortunes of that one day, drives him completely insane, causing him to break out in hysterical laughter, and results in the birth of the Joker.
The Joker.
So back to the present day.
Somebody didn't go back to that fucking comedy place where he was telling his jokes and just blows that bitch up.
Yeah, if it was Joaquin Phoenix, he would have.
It's like, here, I got a joke for you. And he fucking blows that motherfucker down.
Boom. That's the joke. Boom, bitches. It's like you talk about bombing. He literally bombs.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you what bombing's like.
In the present day.
Be like a modern, like if it was now, it's like throw a bunch of drones into him.
Yeah.
With the fucking bombs all over him.
That's so fucked up that they can do that now. The Joker kidnaps Gordon, shoots and paralyzes his daughter Barbara, and imprisons him in a rundown amusement park. His henchmen then strip Gordon naked and cage him in the park's freak show.
Look at that hairy ass.
It's like, you're going to be here for Diddy. Part of the freak off.
Old diddler. Gotham's real worst enemy.
He chains Gordon's to one of the rides and cruelly forces him to view giant pictures of his wounded daughter in various states of undress. Once Gordon completes the maddening gauntlet, the Joker ridicules him as an example of the average man, a naive weakling doomed to insanity. So Batman arrives to save Gordon, and the Joker retreats into the funhouse. It's always the funhouse where Joker runs to.
Big ass fight beats the hell out of him.
Yeah. Gordon's sanity is intact despite the ordeal, and he insists the Batman capture the Joker by the book in order to, quote, show him that our way works. Batman enters the funhouse and faces the Joker's traps while the Joker tries to persuade his old foe that the world is inherently insane and thus not worth fighting for. Also claiming that Batman must have suffered from a bad day himself and gone insane as well, mostly because of his attire. He's like, you're fucking crazy, dude. With Joker being far more correct in his assumption than he even realized.
The Batman's like, what the fuck you talking about? Shut the fuck up. You don't know shit about me. He starts fucking getting, he has that one button on it.
Defensive on
yeah. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro.
He then comments that while he doesn't remember how exactly how his bad day went due to his memories changing every time, he knows he went crazy as a result, especially after knowing how the world was a black, awful joke. He then ranted as to why Batman won't acknowledge he's gone crazy. Especially whenever he's pretty sure the Capes Crusader was smart enough to see things from his eyes, pointing out that the Cold War frequently came close to escalating to World War III due to a flock of geese appearing on the computer screen, or how the Second World War was allegedly caused by Germany entering an argument over the amount of telegraph poles they owned the Allies had undergoing reparations shortly after the First World War. and then denouncing everything everyone has strived to fight for as being monstrous, demented gag.
Was he a fucking professor of history? What the fuck?
I know.
What the fuck is he talking? The first one sounds familiar. The second one I have no idea about.
That everything is a monstrous, demented gag before demanding to know why Batman not only doesn't see the funny side, but why he isn't even laughing at all. Eventually, Batman tracks down the Joker, and after explaining that the reason he isn't laughing at all, nor seeing it as funny, is because he's heard the joke before, and it wasn't funny the first time around. He then subdues him. Batman then attempts to reach out to him to give up crime and put a stop to their years-long war. Otherwise, the two will be eternally locked in a course that will one day result in a fight with a fight to the death between them. Like what he was trying to say, so poetically in the fucking Arkham Asylum at the beginning of the story. He's actually telling Joker at this point.
That looks back at his notes that he had in his pocket. Like, let me read this again to you.
It's like, but now there's no emotion with it. The Joker declines, however, ruefully saying, "It's too late for that. Far too late." And then tells Batman a joke that was started earlier in the comic.
What's the joke? I don't want to hear it.
The joke is, this is a quote from it anyway. See, there was two guys in a lunatic asylum, and one night they decide they don't like living in an asylum anymore. They decide they're going to escape. So, they get up onto the roof, and there, just across this narrow gap, they see the rooftops to the town, stretching away in the moonlight, stretching away to freedom.
Okay.
Now, the first guy, he jumps right across with no problem. But his friend did not dare make the leap. You see, he's afraid of falling. So then, the first guy has an idea. He says, "Hey, I have a flashlight with me. I'll shine it across the gap between the buildings. You can walk across the beam and join me." But the second guy just shakes his head. He says, "What do you think I am, crazy? You'd turn it off halfway that I'm across."
So that he is fucking insane.
Yes. The joke is funny enough to make the normally stone-faced Batman laugh, though.
I remember that. Yeah, he was fucking laughing his ass off.
And they continue to laugh as the police approach. Batman then grabs the Joker and the story ends, leaving it up to the reader to determine the Joker's fate.
There was that famous thing where he puts his hands around he puts his hands on both his shoulders, right?
Yeah.
And it pans down, and everyone thinks that he started choking him to death.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. What you would envision that the writer and reader, or the writer and the artist didn't intend.
Yeah.
But how it just feels like that would be right, and
that would make sense.
Like he's like that final joke between two old foes right before one of them kills the other one.
Batman's like, "That joke sucked." Just starts strangling him.
He just starts fucking choking him. Not to mention the implication that Alan Moore didn't intend was that apparently Joker was almost gonna sexually assault Barbara Gordon.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
And he didn't even mean for it to be.
But the way it was written and drawn, it was like, damn it.
Yep.
I gotta be careful with my words.
Because there's that undertone of the between the lines thing. You're not paying attention.
He also had the weirdest attire for Joker in that, the Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And it just somehow.
With the Havana hat and everything.
Maybe it was like he was doing the thing like the tourist with the camera.
Yeah.
They're always going around taking pictures.
Yeah.
Which would be a genius idea. The Joker would be smart enough to do that. Yeah. So I'm just a tourist going through Gotham.
It just, it's like
fucking
all the craziness.
Pale white as hell.
That's why it's the killing joke.
Wait, I guess we know. So we do know what happened because it leads up to 3 Jokers.
Yeah.
And he didn't kill.
Yeah.
He didn't fucking strangle.
Which kind of ruins the whole one bad day killing joke.
Dang, I guess it kind of does.
Yeah. Because I think it's better left if it was you not knowing what happens at the end of it. Mostly considering that it's an Elseworld, or at least it was an Elseworld, where it wasn't supposed to be mainstream, part of the actual normal canon.
Remember when I first heard that joke, I actually laughed. It's because when you started reading, oh yeah, I remember the story now.
Yeah.
Because it's so unexpected. And then for Alan Moore to write it, I'm like, you got me on that one. You gotta turn that bitch off halfway across.
It's but he's so insane that he'll walk across the beam of light. He doesn't question that part.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, that sounds solid. This line will hold me up.
That'll work. No issues here. No issues here.
Because it's so unexpected, such an unexpected joke, and that's what makes it so funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? So good. The Joker can tell a good joke. Then Batman strangles.
He's like, it's so funny. It's so funny.
They were fucking balling. They were like they were legit laughing hard as hell. If I remember the panel correctly.
Yeah.
They were fucking going off.
Yeah, they were.
I'm like, Batman, you good?
Maybe I am. I don't know. That's funny.
The funniest shit I've ever fucking heard, Robin. You should have been there.
It was very funny. Okay.
He tried to retell, and no one, Alfred and Robin, don't laugh at all. It's like, well, I'm not telling it right, but it was fucking hilarious. I fucking swear. That's the funniest shit I've ever heard. Like, you're trying to tell a friend, or you're trying to retell a joke to a friend, you're fucking it up. It's like, damn it. No, because he tried to walk over the light, but then he didn't. Because, fuck.
You had to be there. You had to be there to know.
Right before I strangled the shit out of him, he should have.
If only you'd been there to see.
See his fucking eyes bulge out of his fucking head. That shit was fucking funny too.
He went from being white to blue. It was kind of patriotic.
Hit him a little time and he came out some red. There you go, red, white, and blue. I did it. America, fucking body slams.
This one was for you, Superman. The American way.
This one's for you, Uncle Sam. You're my favorite superhero.